How's it? Today's Saturday, March 27th, and I am a tired boy. Last week, I felt very similar to how I felt today, but last week I just gave up after the deadlifts. So I only deadlifted last week. Today, I promised to myself, well, last week actually, last week I promised to myself that I wouldn't just deadlift next Saturday, which was today. And that sort of just left me in a really bad, grumpy, just miserable mood. Um, and I apologize to everybody who was at the gym today because I was just so out of it. But I didn't complain. That was my that was my thing. I was like, once I start complaining, it's gonna be hard to come back from that, and it's gonna be hard to continue doing the workouts to even get to the bench press. So I kind of just sucked it up and just was quiet. Didn't talk to anyone at all. Here's my top set of 5 at 150. It's hard, but not hard. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than this. I mean, it was pretty challenging, but just overall, I don't imagine myself after the first rep specifically. I didn't imagine myself failing at all. But before that, I didn't know if I was ever going to get to 5. Um, that's the level of difficulty we're at. I don't have an RPE for that because I truly don't know. This might be a 9, maybe a 9.5, what have you. But after that, I moved into my down sets of sets of four fours at 140, which is at 10 kilos lower than the top set of deadlifts. I think that some of my technique, like that one there, was not very solid. If I'm unable to set my hips at the right height, then things sort of fall apart really quickly. I don't think that's true for all of the lifts, but just very specifically this one here, a sumo deadlift, because it's sort of based on the foundation of that hip positioning. You know what I mean? Like if I hit hinge too much, or if I'm too low and end up pushing too much, then um, the deadlift itself is going to be very difficult, and I'll end up. I remember a couple weeks ago, I ended up being on my toes a little bit too much, and so when that happened, I failed, and that was probably the first deadlift I failed. Like true like deadlift, the sumo deadlift, I failed in like 4 months, something like that. Maybe even before that. Maybe since I was home last year, like the aversion to start sumo deadlifting started last year, right? And maybe through July, I got a little bit more comfortable with it, and here I am today, right? Just every Saturday, I sumo deadlift. Again, after that, I did bench press as I promised I would. Promised myself I would. I know it says 5 sets of 5, but I actually ended up doing like one set of 5. Um, Actually, it was 2 sets of 5, one set of 9, and then one set of 6. Because Audie was like, just do like 15 reps. I'm like, bro, I can't even. There's no way I can do a set of 15. So I was like, I could probably do 8. Ended up doing 9, and then overall total volume is the same, but it was in one less set. So that makes it more difficult, right? But yeah, not too hard on these. Every first set for the bench press is always really solid for me. There's no like real struggle there. I mean, I should be keeping my butt on the bench, but sue me. I'm not competing in bench press anytime soon. So yeah, sue me. After that, I did one more accessory thing as the back extension. I think this is probably one of the more important accessory lifts that I do, and I said I was going to bench today for sure, and I was going to try to do the other accessories, but I was kind of, again, I was out of it. I did manage to talk myself into executing and completing the back extensions, which I do think are very important for my progress. But that's it for today. Real simple. Thanks for watching. Shoots.